He is one of the most influential people in American history who has had a profound effect on American attitudes towards sexuality. He is the inventor of Kellogg's Corn Flakes, and the author of the highly esteemed Plain Facts for Old and Young. Please join me in giving a warm welcome for Dr. John Harvey Kellogg.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Honored guests and ladies. I can't say I am comfortable with the inclusion of women in this conference, as many of these topics are not suited for the fairer sex. It is not proper to discuss much of this scholarship in mixed company. Perhaps because several of our award recipients are indeed women this year, the wise and progressive people of the National Conference decided to alter the rules. I can't say that I understand or agree with the choices of recipients. One of the award winners, Miss Roby Harris, is the author of a truly shocking piece of comedy fiction entitled It's Perfectly Normal. Myself, as the author of Plain Facts for Old and Young, as well as The Lady's Guide to Health and Disease, Girlhood, Maidenhood, and Motherhood, and the ever-popular Colon Hygiene, and several extensive studies on the sin of onanism, I can assure you that Ms. Harris's assertions are not perfectly normal. When I saw her book, I first thought it was a crude satire by Mr. Jonathan Swift. For we all know that self-pollution is not just a moral failing, but also a physical and mental ailment. I covered this all very comprehensively in my 1888 book, Treatment for Self-Abuse and Its Effects. But I'll be speaking more on that in a moment. Our Philanthropy Award goes this year to Mrs. Nada Wharton. I'm always very, very happy to meet generous benefactors and supporters, even though her efforts here are geared towards sexual education, a topic that I still believe should be left to the men in this room. However, opportunity sometimes knocks at the most unlikely place, and should you be interested, I have some investment opportunities. I have some interesting projects that are being developed in my sanitarium in Battle Creek, Michigan. Dr. Satcher, our only male recipient, spoke yesterday and is not here today. I guess he's a smarter man than indicated in his report, the Surgeon General's call to action to promote sexual health and responsible sexual behavior. Responsible sexual behavior? I mean, there is no such thing except for no sexual behavior. President Rutherford B. Hayes appointed my Surgeon General, John B. Hamilton. He developed the nation's first quarantine system to promote sexual health. What we need is more quarantines. That'll take care of the venereal diseases that you folks prefer to call sexually transmitted infections. So, am I to believe that your keynote speaker last night was an actress from a famous theatrical family? Show people, here. I guess John Wilkes Booth's family was not available. The next thing you know, these actors and actresses will want to get involved in the political process Can you imagine one of them in the White House? Miss Fonda founded the Georgia Campaign for Adolescent Power and Potential. She has stated that hope is the best contraceptive. Hope. Well, I, for one, hope that she will be kept far away from today's youth. She should have maintained her focus on exercise and physical health, perhaps even hydrotherapy. But lastly, I am quite thrilled to meet Dr. Ruth Vestheimer. Although I have grave concerns over her permissive attitudes towards sexual behavior, I must admit that I have a special fondness for anyone from Germany. During my medical studies, I had many opportunities to travel Europe and study under the great doctors, like my mentor, Dr. Wilhelm Winternitz. It was in Germany and Austria that I learned all about the bowels and elimination. 90% of all illness originates in the stomach and bowels. Indeed, I learned the bowels are a sewer of auto-intoxication full of poisons and must be plied with water. My favorite tool that I learned is an enema machine, and the best one I saw was in Germany. It could run 15 gallons through a bowel in seconds. And you follow that with a pint of yogurt, half eaten and half administered with an enema, and you have one squeaky clean bowel. A clean bowel, I learned, can cure cancer of the stomach, ulcers, diabetes, schizophrenia, and acne. Nothing a clean bowel can't handle, and no one can make you eliminate your bowels like the Germans can. Now, in Austria and Germany, I learned all about hydrotherapy and developed many of the ideas that I have developed in my sanitarium. In Austria, I developed my Kelloggian Lichtbad sauna cabinet. They became so popular that hundreds were sold all over Europe, and I'm bringing them here to my spa in Battle Creek. Many medical men and financiers are interested. Make note of that, Ms. Wharton. But I digress. The reason I was asked here today was to discuss the most important problem facing mankind today, and of course, I mean masturbation. This solitary vice is not only detrimental to emotional and spiritual well-being, but also physical health. I have cataloged 39 different symptoms of a person plagued by masturbation, including general infirmity, defective development, mood swings, fickleness, bashfulness, boldness, bad posture, stiff joints, fondness for spicy foods, acne, palpitations, and epilepsy. It is the scourge of the nation. One cure for this suffering is a healthy diet. Many flavorful and seasoned foods actually increase sexual desire. So diet is fundamental in good health. The plainer the food, especially cereals and nuts, the more we can curb desire. Now, with this in mind, my brother and I developed this. Now, you have a bowl of this every morning with a pint of yogurt through an enema, and that'll keep your mind in the right place. I also advise the avoidance of feather beds and romance novels. Clearly, sex is the sewer drain of a healthy body. Any use of the sex act other than procreation, even between a husband and wife, is a waste of vital energy. These excesses that couples engage in are against nature and therefore extremely unhealthy. Wasted seeds are wasted lives. Any illicit sin is between the sexes, any illicit commerce between the sexes is a sin. Abstain from sex altogether like my wife and I do. We even spent our honeymoon working on my writings, and we have separate bedrooms, and we adopted all of our children. Healthy lifestyles. I do not smoke. I maintain that the liver is the only thing between a smoker and death. I am also a vegetarian. Think about it. Each juicy morsel of meat is alive and swarming with the same filth as found in the carcass of a dead rat. Sausage. What is sausage? An indigestible balloon of decayed beef riddled with tuberculosis. But masturbation is the silent killer of the night. The vilest sin of self-pollution, the sin of Onan. An erection is a flagpole on your grave. My colleague, Dr. Reverend Sylvester Graham, wholeheartedly agrees with my conclusions about the health hazards of masturbation, and he has developed his own product to help stave off sexual urges. Graham's crackers bear no resemblance to the abominations on your table shaped in the form of teddy bears. Graham crackers had no sugar, no honey, and no cinnamon to stir up the senses. No, Graham understood as I do that bland and tasteless foods are the perfect antidote to carnal urges. We recommend cornflakes and Graham's crackers at every meal. As an added benefit, when your neighbors see your cupboard full of these products, they will know that you are a family of virtue. So, in closing, the key to a good life and good health is sexual abstinence and a clean bowel, of course. As the famous Dutch physician, Dr. Boerhaave, wrote, keep your head cool, your feet warm, and your bowels open. Congratulations to our distinguished award recipients, and thank you to the Center of Sex Education for inviting me to share these plain facts. Enjoy the rest of your conference.